This is BCS Membership. We're here to help you find your way in this brilliantly fast-paced industry. Our Career Centre and Personal Development Plan will help you get the skills and qualifications that will take you further. We're here to keep your career moving in the right direction. You can access the e-learning tools, career guidance and new contacts to add to your technical skills and create new opportunities, keeping you ahead of the curve. Through BCS, you can get professional recognition and work towards chartered status. As well as keeping your technical ability up to date, you can develop the people management skills that take you to the next level. With BCS, you're well connected. Regular opportunities to collaborate with your peers will help you drive policy on key issues, such as diversity and cyber education, so you and your teams are equipped for the future. We can help you become an important voice for the industry. By growing your network, you'll be able to share your knowledge and experience and help influence where IT and technology are headed and how it affects society. Join our global group of 60,000 professionals. If you're developing your career, membership is here to help you shape your future. And if you want to use the experience and insight you've gained across your years in the industry, through BCS membership, it's you that shapes the future.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Altaf. I'm the chair of the branch, and today's talk is about stress management. And I'm sure we probably all have somewhat or have gone through something in terms of stress due to work, and particularly in the last couple of years, I guess. We've got Ron, who is actually he's the treasurer of the branch of the London West branch. So it's really nice to see Ram giving us a talk to the branch members. He's also the interim chair of BCS Community Board Finance Committee. So I think Ram is in a very good position to talk about stress, as he has been leading on many different topics in contributing to the industry. His specialization is in digital transformation, change management, agile coaching, and GDPR. He's currently working as a senior digital transformation lead for General Optical Council. So I think we are going to all look forward to hearing Ram's talk and hopefully de-stress ourselves somewhat from that. So I'm going to pass you on to Ram.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you, Altaf.
Sorry, Ram, one point I'd just like to inform the attendees. If you do have any questions, please post it on the question and answer session, answer box, and we will get it answered after the main talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Altaf, for the introduction. I will kick off with my presentation. Welcome to this session on stress management and motivation for IT professionals. What an interesting subject. I was quite pleased yesterday when I was informed that more than 100 people, closer to 150 people have registered for this event. That helped me to be a little more prepared, because I thought that seems to be one of the things that people are undergoing in one or the other way. I have been managing the stress in different ways for a number of years, and that's one of the ways I try to contribute towards the mental health and well-being of people in my personal life and also in professional life. And I thought this will be just the right time for sharing my knowledge and skills and experience with all of you. If during pandemic, some people who have gone through the difficult times, IT professionals are one of the topmost, because the amount of acceleration that has happened during the pandemic is digitizing many things. It is said that organizations which wanted to do certain things in 6 years, for example, they have completed that in just 6 months. If you look at the numbers, the organizations were compelled to buy laptops, and in one multinational company all over the world, they had about 200,000 people working for them, both employees and contractors, or temporary employees, as they call them. And when the work from home started, they realized that they had only 10,000 laptops all over the world, which compelled them to buy 190,000 laptops at a short notice. And that was only with one multinational company. Visualize the number of multinational companies or the organizations which were operating from home, and the number of laptops which were to be served, or the tablets to be served, was enormous. And that it was not only the hardware side of things, but it was also the software side of things that made things more and more difficult for the IT professionals. And the stress levels have been fairly high, although people are working from home even today, but the stress levels are high, and therefore I thought this will be just the right time to speak with all of you. Thank you for your time today. So let's start understanding what is the definition of stress from NHS perspective. Stress is the body's reaction to feeling threatened or under pressure. So this is what NHS says, and I have provided the link. I will be sharing this presentation with all of you, and also this talk is being recorded, so you can also watch it at your ease. So this is the basic definition, that stress is body's reaction to feeling threatened or under pressure. And this is what happens when we are stressed. This is a one-way conversation, so I'm not able to ask for your feedback up front. The other way, if you see, is in mathematical or in physics terms, then it is stress is equal to power or influence divided by resilience. And what here means resilience is your confidence level. Now, higher the confidence level that you have, you will be able to deal with more of the power or the stress. If you put the equation, then you will understand it better. So that is the basic definition of stress. Is it good to be under stress? Some people will say yes, some people will say no. If you take it in a positive way, the stress is good. If you take it in a negative way, it is not good. If we all experience stress right from morning till evening, in one or the other way, it's up to us how we take it. We take it positively or we take it negatively. To give you a few examples, when any of your projects are going to go live, do you feel stressed? Yes, you do feel stress, because we are threatened, as the definition said, or we are scared. If something goes wrong, how will we deal with that? Although there will be contingency plan, but then still that anxiety, that stress level still remains, but that's more of positive. Okay. If you look at any of the competition, the players are under stress. They are under stress for a number of reasons. Okay, they want to perform better. Okay, they want to win, and therefore there is stress. Okay, if you want to take flight or if you want to travel, many people are stressed, and again for the same reason, that they are always anxious as to what will happen if something goes wrong, what will happen to my travel, so on and so forth. In the negative terms, if you keep thinking, oh, this is not going to work, and therefore I'm stressed, and definitely it will not happen, and you will certainly be in stress. Okay. The other negativity is I start thinking on the lines, why only me? It's happening only with me. See, everybody else is happy, but I am not. The moment I start thinking on those lines, again, I'm not going to be happy. I'm always going to be under stress. And that's a negative way of seeing things. Let me tell you another perspective. A person who has a growth mind, a person who is more open-minded, is less likely to be uh, negatively stressed. That person will always be stressed, but with the positivity in mind. They will always think of the options as to how things can improve. Okay, and this again from IT perspective, the agile methodology talks about continuous improvement, continuous delivery. Okay, but if you take it in the true sense, then yes, it is positive way to look at things, and the other way is negative. So it's good and both. It's good as well as bad thing to be under stress. More positively we take it, better it is. Why stress? Okay, it's a pressure to perform, for work or for study. That's one of the reasons why people are under stress. We are always trying to improve at the work, okay? Or we are always under pressure to do more, especially during while working from home. There are meetings after meetings, and if you are continuously listening and watching on the screen, then that itself can be a pressure, and it can be stressful. When there was the office environment, and even if uh, there are consecutive meetings, you move from one room to the other, and that way you had bit of the relaxation, you had bit of the time to yourself. But during pandemic, it's finish one meeting, click on the button, you are in the second meeting, and that way you can be constantly under pressure. You can have relationship issues. Okay, this can be within the families, with the friends, with the extended family, with business associates. There can be relationship issues, and that again can cause a lot of stress. uh, uh, Too much information and we get confused, so that's again that can also create uh, stress. Now, what is meant by too much information? Okay, today if you start thinking on a particular subject, okay, you don't define what you want, but you start collecting as much information as you can, and then what happens? Then we don't know what to pick up, what not to pick up, because we do not know what we want, and that is where too much of information can cause uh, the stress. If you want to fly, let's say from uh, uh, London to uh, America, and if you have not defined as to how much money you want to spend on your travel, you start looking at different websites, and every website will give you different price. And once you start seeing the prices, then you get confused as to when should I travel, when what is the best option, whether I'll get leave or not, and that way things can become more complicated. Okay, so too much of information, and you get confused. That leads to stress. Too little things to do. Sometimes you are working from home, and you may not have too many things to work on, and instead of thinking positively as to what you should be doing to utilize that time, you start worrying, hey, I'm not doing anything, and therefore things are not going to be good for me, without realizing that that's the time one can utilize productively for doing the things of interest, the things that can benefit us in a number of different ways. But instead we get stressed. uh, Reduced movements. See, when we are working from home, and it's too cold, or when it is too hot, we don't go out, and we are confined to four walls. Especially for people who are sharing accommodation, they have experienced this more. People who have been living in the uh, care homes, they have experienced this more. And when you have reduced movements, what are you doing? You have limited things to do on your own, and therefore you start feeling stressed, or you may get into depression. Uh, you have uh, either low social contact or no social contacts, and that again is not good, and this can make a lot of difference to one's life. Let me share with you my own experience. For last about 9 months plus, I have been walking in the morning, irrespective of that season, whether it is rain, it was hot, or now it is cold. I walk for 90 minutes, and distance covered is more than 10 kilometers. And when I started walking in the morning, I started greeting people, good morning. And initially, people were suspicious, and they would think, what is my interest? But there are some people who were responding, and gradually that number started going up. And uh, uh, today, anywhere from 35 to 65 people exchanged greeting in the morning with me, and it's so satisfying that it's a change. Some people start talking about their problems, and that itself is a social contact. Early in the morning, some people talk positive, some people talk otherwise, but it's so satisfying. There's one lady who greets me in the morning, bless you. You start the day with blessings of someone. It's such a fantastic morning. uh, there is one little child. He was going to the, he is still going to the nursery, and he used to come in a buggy. And one day I asked his mother whether he walks, and mother said yes, he does, but not here. So I asked the boy whether you want to walk, and it's now about 4 or 5 months. He sometimes walks, sometimes he runs, but when that activity happens, it's so satisfying that uh, you know uh, stress is completely gone. Okay, but this kind of social context, they help a lot. Okay, uh, limited scope to work. Now again, this is to do with the uh, uh, working from home, and less things to do. Negative mental attitude, this is again a major cause for stress. If somebody has the habit of saying nothing can be done, nothing can be done, it's difficult to change their mind, because that's the negative mental attitude. Instead, if somebody says, yes, how can we? That's a slightly different way of looking at things, and your perspective itself can change, and you start thinking more positively. You start opening up the doors. Okay, digital life. We all use digital life, but if we get obsessed to digital life, that itself can be stressful for a number of reasons. One reason is you spend more and more time on digital life, impacting the rest of the things that you are supposed to do. Second thing, you get so bogged down with the issues emerging on this digital life that the perspective changes completely. A person who would have purchased a new dress, for example, puts up the photograph on Facebook and does not get 50 likes. Okay, it's not that the dress is bad, but because the 50 likes have not been done by the network members, they think that's not a good dress, and your perspective changes. You start thinking that money is waste. Okay, now that's the too much of digital life, and that everything leading to stress. So these are some of the reasons why there is a lot of stress in life. Now, what happens when you're stressed? Okay, first thing is facial expression changes. You know, when people start talking to me over the phone, or they come on Teams or Zoom meetings face to face, where we can see each other, it's relatively easier to find out whether a person is stressed or otherwise. and it's a natural instinct from the body to reflect the mental state, and that is the stress. Uh, get angry quickly. See, when a person is under stress, you try to ask someone something, and that person is likely to get angry very quickly. This is again natural. Okay, uh, you are stressed, and a child comes and asks for something, and you say, "Go away, not now." That's again demonstrating anger and the stress together. Okay, uh, want to be away from others. Many people like to be alone on their own, which is again not a healthy sign, but that's what happens. Okay, uh, eat and drink more. See, now when a person is stressed, they would like to get away from it, and one of the things that they do is eat and drink more. Now, does it help? To some extent, yes. When you drink more, either tea, coffee, or alcohol, or anything else that you take, has a more amount of sugar in one or the other form, and that sugar gives you instant that changes your instant state of mind. Uh, you may feel a bit relaxed, but that's momentary. And as soon as the effect goes off, then uh, then you again go back into the same state. So in a way, it's good to have tea, coffee, or anything that can help you to de-stress, but that's temporary. The same thing is true for eating. A person eats something, feels better, but then that's again temporary. Uh, uh, some people sleep more. Some people can't sleep when they are stressed. Okay, but the majority people are unable. They sleep more out of stress. So it can be as long as 12 hours at a stretch. But and after sleeping for that long, when they wake up, they are again stressed because that mental state hasn't changed. Uh, develop mental health issues. This can be depression. This can be developing more anxiety, and that can lead to long-term impact on the lifestyle. But that's another thing that can happen. Cause discomfort to self and others around. See, when a person is stressed, they are not happy, and they pass it on to others, okay, who are around them, in a number of different ways. If I am stressed and somebody tries to contact me either over the phone or any other medium, then my response is going to be completely uh, unproductive, and that's a demonstration of uh, uh, my stress to them, uh, and likely to think more negatively. Okay, uh, this is provided a person has a negative mental attitude. If a person has positive attitude, then under stress they will start thinking more uh, productively. They will start using their positive mental attitude, and they will be able to do more as well. This example which I shared earlier on was with reference to something, the projects going live or the players getting into the tournament. Okay, so there are some of things that can happen. Can you eliminate stress? No, you cannot eliminate stress. Can you eliminate risk? No, you can reduce risk, you can reduce stress, but you can manage stress, but you cannot eliminate it. It's not possible. The only way, from medical perspective, it is said that a person is completely stress free when the person stops breathing. When a person would die, the line becomes straight and on the monitors, and that's when the stress level is zero. But otherwise, the stress is never zero. It can go up and down. What is important is to manage it to the level that we can be more productive. uh, okay. Now, how to manage stress? Okay, so think of two dimensions. One is urgency, and second is importance. And what I'm going to explain you now is true for true for IT professionals, is true for any other profession. It is true for personal life. Okay, and I'll try and give some examples. Okay, so urgency and importance. If you take this to as two parameters, high and low will give us total 4 quadrants. So if it is urgent, okay, but less important, and we try to do something, it's inviting semi-crisis. Okay, if you always focus on most important and most urgent, which means we are inviting crisis. And this is what normally we do. Okay, anything we want to do, it is extremely important. It needs to be done now. Okay, some people use the terminology in the IT industry. Oh, we wanted to actually do this yesterday, implying that it is very urgent. Okay, so most of the times we work around the parameter of crisis. Third one is it's less urgent, but it is important. Okay, which means you are actually planning, and more of the planning activity you get into, then more successful you are likely to be. Okay, you'll be able to think through more constructively, more positively. Okay, think of a player. If that person doesn't plan how he's going to compete in the game, okay, he will always run into crisis. I am speaking with you. If I had not prepared this presentation in advance, and at 5:35 I start realizing, hey, I need to talk. So what happens? It's urgent, it's important, because I need to speak with you, I need to tell something. So I would invite crisis. But if I have planned well, which means it is less urgent, but it is important, then I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And when it is not urgent, when it is not important, then you normally drop a task. Okay, this happens quite often in our personal lives and in professional lives. If you want to attend the wedding, for example, it's important to attend the wedding, okay, but you have not purchased the gift, so you land into the crisis mode. Okay, and then if it is for the family, then the relationship issues start. Hey, I said this and you didn't act, and now we have landed into this. That can become the subject of stress. Okay, but if you have discussed well in advance, you have thought through what gift needs to be given. Okay, so it is less urgent at that point, it is important, and that planning activity can help you to diffuse or reduce the stress level. Okay, there could be other things related to attending the wedding, that could be a completely different matter, but the important thing of buying a gift, etc., can which potentially can cause the stress, can be reduced. Okay, uh, at times we pay attention to uh, not important things, but we unnecessarily make them urgent. To give an example, you want to buy something post Christmas, okay, during the winter sale. Okay, but so that's one of the things that you want to do, but you start looking for that product in January of this year, which you intend to buy in December after Christmas. So you have made it urgent, but it is not important. That is why it comes in this section. And this is wastage of time to some extent. So we should try and focus more on the planning activity, which can really bring us the positive results and can help us reduce the stress. Okay, let's move on. How to manage stress? Okay, there are a number of things that you can do in order to reduce stress. One is walk. I give an example of walk. Uh, I'll give some more information around walk. When you are stressed, try this thing in a practical way. If you like music, listen to the music and walk continuously for 1 hour. Measure it, 30 minutes one direction, 30 minutes return home or wherever you are. So 30 minutes in one direction, 30 minutes in the reverse direction. And you will feel refreshed. Okay. But what you need to be sure is focus while walking on the subject of your interest that can give you joy and entertainment. Okay. Joy is more important. Suppose you want to recite some positive thing. I'm doing well, just a positive statement for 1 hour. Then at the end of 1 hour, you'll certainly feel better. Keep walking. Okay. You do physical exercise in whatever form you can do, but do some kind of physical exercise, and that will help you to manage your stress better. You will feel relaxed. Meditate. Okay, this is again very powerful thing. It helps you calm down to a greater extent, but then you should be doing that regularly. Even if you do it once in a while, it's still fine. Whenever you are feeling stress, if you meditate, you will feel relaxed. Yoga is another way that you can feel relaxed. Sleep well. Okay, this is very important. You should try and sleep at the same time, at around on the same place as far as possible, and it should be darker. Okay, it helps you to sleep better. Okay, at the time of sleeping, if you again at the time of sleeping and waking up in the morning, think of some positivity. Okay, if somebody has not done good things to you, then just say one word, or sorry, one sentence before going to sleep. I forgive so and so. Okay, and say that with passion. Okay, again in the morning you say, and at night you say, thank you. Bye bye today. It has been a fantastic day. When you get up in the morning, again say, today it is going to be a fantastic day. Okay, now this is not easy. It's the habit that you need to cultivate. Okay, so if you sleep well, and again try to develop the positivity by uh, uh, using the positive things at the time of sleeping and at the time of waking up, then that will certainly help you. Eat moderately. Okay, do not eat too much, do not eat less. Okay, but if you eat moderately, that will again help you to manage your stress levels. Reduce alcohol and sugar consumption. Alcohol, doesn't matter what alcohol you take, whether it is whiskey or wine or beer, anything, any alcohol drink that you consume has a lot of sugar. Any soft drinks that you have or juices that you have sugar. So the sugar itself should be controlled as much as you can, and that will help you to manage your stress levels. Okay, it will also help you to reduce the weight to some extent. Okay, then reduce or stop smoking. This again helps you to manage your stress levels. Both alcohol, sugar, and smoking gives you a temporary relief, but that's only temporary till the time you have their effect. It can go back to normal. You might have heard or you might have experienced that somebody who has taken more of alcohol feels has discomfort in the morning. Yes, that's true, because during the during the period you had the alcohol, you were more relaxed, and once the effect is gone, you come back to normal, and that's where you again start going back to the stress level. So try and control as much as you can. Develop positive mental attitude. This is very, very important. Always think positive. Okay, and this needs to be cultivated over a time. I am extremely positive person. Somebody talks to me on any subject, anytime anybody expresses negativity, I have no problem listening. There was one instance recently where I listened to somebody for about 2 hours and 14 minutes. It was a total meeting for 224 minutes, 2 hours and 24 minutes. And my contribution was only 10 minutes and it was recorded. Uh, but throughout, I demonstrated empathy, positivity without reacting to the person who was speaking. Okay. Now, when you demonstrate the positive mental attitude, it's the inspiration for the other person. Okay. And that's very important to manage your stress rather than that of the others. Okay. Socialize. Now, socializing again has its own benefits. I shared with you some of them. When you socialize, you are sharing knowledge, experience. You are learning in the process. Although you would be talking to people over the phone or using different platforms like Zoom or Teams, but that's to the extent you are with them at that moment. When you are with somebody else, when you are with people face to face, you come to know more of their uh, uh, body gestures, and that speak louder than the words. Actions speak louder than the words, as they say. So body language helps you to understand people better, and that helps you also to manage your stress level. Okay. Develop hobbies. Some people have hobby of reading, some people have hobby of traveling, music, watching films of different kind. Again, all these hobbies can help you to diffuse stress or reduce stress. Reduce your digital activities. This is uh, important, and the way people are using the digital platforms for hours together is one of the causes for the stress. A time will not be very far when you will hear the advertisements which will say these are the hotels, they are digital detox, which means when you check in, you are submitting all your digital equipment there, be it your laptop, be it your phone, be it your tablets, anything that you have digital, you need to deposit it there. And you go inside the hotel and you do everything other than the digital life. And that time is not very far. In next few years, you will start hearing um, the taglines for digital detox. Uh, Spend wisely. You see, when we spend excessive amount of money, again, we may not have the sufficient backup to uh, earn. So we keep using credit cards. And once we are not able to uh, repay the amounts on time, then that can be another cause for stress. So if we start spending wisely, then again, the stress can be managed well. And managing ego. This is very, very important, especially for IT professionals. We come across this quite often. Okay. In the IT industry, we always talk about hardware and software, but I consider that hardware and software is relatively easier to manage than the third important thing, which is the humanware. Humanware is very, very difficult to manage. Okay? And that is partly because of the ego. A person may think, why me? Difficult to answer. Okay. Somebody starts laughing for something unnecessarily, difficult to control, but it is insulting the other person, or it's impacting their ego to some extent. And these things happen quite often. So managing the ego is again very, very important parameter to manage the stress level. How to cultivate habit? Uh, the spelling of habit is HABIT. And let me tell you, it is very, very difficult to change habit, because if you remove H, a bit still remains. If you remove A, bit still remains. If you remove B, it still remains. If you remove I, T still remains, and that itself can be the habit. So it is said that habit is very difficult to change, but we all are IT professionals and we all use agile in one or the other way. in our professional lives, we can use the same thing, similar approach in our personal life. We start small, just as we do in agile methodology. We grow in incremental steps, okay? And then we accelerate. Okay? Let me give an example. Suppose you are not walking today, okay? Or you don't have the habit of walking. So, and you want to cultivate that habit. So I would suggest diligently, you start with 1 minute. You look at your clock or your watch, walk for 1 minute in one direction, come back in the second minute. Okay. So you have walked 2 minutes. Next day, you increase it from 1 minute to 2 minutes in both directions. Third day, you increase it to 3 minutes in one direction, 3 minutes in the opposite direction. Okay. So 6 minutes. Likewise, if you do it continuously for 20 days, without realizing, you would start walking for 40 minutes. Okay? But you need to do this every day. Okay? And that's how you start small. And once you reach 20, then you will be more inspired to walk even longer. Okay? One strategy. Another strategy. Suppose you make up your mind to walk for 30 minutes in a day. Okay? Sounds too much, but I will suggest you, before you start work, walk for 5 minutes in one direction, return in another 5 minutes, 10 minutes done. Lunchtime, repeat that. After you finish your work, repeat that. Only 10 minutes each time, you are achieving 30 minutes. And if you walk for 5 days, 30 minutes each day, that's what is the recommended guidance from the NHS, that you do some kind of activity, physical activity for 30 minutes a day. Very easy. Okay. And as you will start doing that activity persistently, you will develop competency. You are increasing your capacity, and with these two in hand, you will be more confident. Okay. So you grow in incremental steps, as I explained, and then you accelerate. Okay. Once you accelerate, and once you have cultivated the habit, your body will demand for it. Okay. Again, giving my personal example, when I started walking in the morning about 9.5 months ago, I was using alarm. Okay. But today I don't. My body wakes me up at the right time, and I start my walk every day at 6:25 a.m. irrespective of the season, as I said earlier, and I come back home at 7:55. So today I don't use any alarm clock, but I still get up on time and go for my walk. Okay, and again, taking it further, uh, originally I was just walking, but now I mix walk and run, and I'm trying to increase my running capacity in following agile way. Okay, so it is possible. It's just the way we try and develop our habits. Now, practical ways to feel relaxed quickly. How can we do this? So, are you able to see me? Altaf, if you can just confirm if you are able to see my face, or are you able to see?
We can do that, Ram.
Okay. So if you are able to see my face, I'm going to show you something, and you should practice it whenever you have time. Okay. So first one is you use your two fingers of both the hands and put them on the eyelids. Okay. And you rotate them in one direction, that's clockwise, for 30 times, very gently. Okay. And you do the same thing in the reverse direction, anti-clockwise. Okay. If you do this activity for 60 times in total, which will be about a minute. And every minute will give you the relaxation equivalent to 1 hour of sleep. Okay, very easy. It doesn't require any special location. Wherever you are, you can do this. You are in office, you are at home, you are traveling, wherever you are. Very simple. You can do this. If you do it for 5 minutes, it's equivalent to 5 hours of sleep. Okay, you can try it anytime that you wish. You need some kind of relaxation. Anytime you feel you are stressed. Okay, the second one is on the side of the forehead. There is a bone. Okay, now you rotate with your 2 fingers clockwise 20 times and anti-clockwise 20 times. When you do this, again, your body starts relaxing, and in 15 to 20 minutes, it's possible that you may go to sleep. Third one, count in reverse order from 100 to 1. Let's try this now. Okay, because you are all on mute, you will not be able to share your comments. But if you try this 100 to 1 in a reverse order, it's more likely that at some point you would have gone to sleep. You can try it whenever you want. Okay, but this again is a proven thing because you are going in a reverse direction. You are unwinding. Okay, then walk for 1 hour by reciting positive phrase, which I shared with you earlier. Meditate regularly. There is one app which Microsoft has recommended. They have partnered with this company called Headspace, and that they offer lots of meditation related stuff. If you go on to YouTube, you have hundreds to thousands of videos on meditation. You just pick up a few of the meditation videos and follow them through, and that will give you a lot of relaxation and help you to manage your stress. So this was everything around the stress part. The second part I have said is about motivation. Okay, we all need some kind of motivation. Okay, and the best way is self-motivation. That comes with optimism. If I keep repeating to myself, I'm well today, I'm well today, at some point I will certainly start feeling well today, and that itself is a great motivation. Okay. So self-motivation with optimism is or positive mental attitude is best way for motivation. Second is develop positive mental attitude. If you know Napoleon Hill, he has written a couple of books on positive mental attitude, and he was a very good author. He was a very good researcher, and he observed the lives of 400 people who were born very poor and became millionaires in their lifetime. And the people he considered were Ford of the Ford company, the founder of Ford, Albert Einstein, Thomas Alva Edison, and that kind of personalities who were born very poor, but then in their lifetime they become very successful, either monetary terms or in their respective professional field. Now he has written the success factors for all these people, and if anybody is interested to read the book, I have it, and I can share the e-version. So what he has focused maximum is on the develop positive mental attitude, and that can keep you motivated all the time. Help to develop competency, capacity, and confidence. Okay, this is true in our personal lives. If you are managing your teams, you try and develop more of the competency of your team. Your capacity will increase to deliver better things, And with that, the confidence level will be high for the whole team. And more confident the team is, more confident will you be as the manager. Okay, and that's where the motivation is comes by itself. Help as many people as you can, as on as many occasions as you can. This is again very powerful. This is very powerful, and uh, you can be again quite. This is a very satisfying experience. Happiness is momentary, but satisfaction is for a very long time. Okay, so if you try to follow helping as many number of people on as many number of occasions, you feel more satisfied, and that can give you motivation on its own. Uh, Celebrate small successes. If somebody in the team has done better work, reward that person. Okay, celebrate in a small way. Just give a chocolate, a bar of chocolate. That's or if somebody is somebody's birthday comes in, as a team, celebrate birthday. A particular milestone is achieved, celebrate that with something else. Okay, but these all the things, if you do, let's celebrate the small successes, motivation is sure to come through. Reward the performance. Okay, any kind of performance, if when it's positive, yes, reward people in whatever way you can. In the organizations, they have the employee of the month or best performer of quarter. So if the performance has really been good, reward them uh, with that. Or if somebody is doing very well, give, recommend promotion. So again, the motivation level can go high. Praise others. Okay. Now, why this is important? Because when you praise somebody else, the person is more likely to reciprocate. Even if they do not reciprocate, at least you have praised somebody else. Therefore, you get satisfaction. And if you do this persistently, then at least you will be happy. Let the other people may not realize it, that you are doing good for them. But at least when you start feeling better, your positivity will develop. And that's how your motivation level will be high and you will be able to perform better. Okay. So praise others. And once you start praising others, at some point they will also start realizing, and they may reciprocate as well. Okay. That is all I have. I am happy to take questions.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you, Ram, for that interesting talk there on sort of stress management. There is a few sort of questions, comments that have come through. And the first one was, the person says, I guess, it depends on the energy a person does have. I think that's what they refer to here, energy. Yeah. And he was saying that, yeah, if the stress can be managed, if the manager informs them on a Monday that they've got 3 tasks to do, that can be managed better compared to if a manager informs them of the 2 tasks, but then on the Friday gives them the 3rd task. That might add to the stress. So how would one have to manage that additional task?
Sure. See, this is a very common thing to happen in the professional life. And one of the ways that this can be managed well is by using the agile methodology. And what I am very fond of, and I'm practicing this on daily basis, is a stand-up meeting. In this stand-up meeting, only 3 things are discussed: what I did yesterday, what I'm going to do today, and if I have any challenges or the hindrances that needs to be dealt with. Okay. And it is time bound. I have this meeting for 30 minutes every morning, but that's it. Now, the kind of situation that has been explained by the participant, if there is a stand-up meeting happening every morning, then this kind of issues will emerge and they can be prioritized in that meeting itself without leaving the person to undergo the stress. Okay. So I think this is one of the ways that it can be managed. Other way is to have a one-to-one meeting with the manager by explaining the position, the workload that a person has, and then prioritize the 3 different tasks which need to be done, and be realistic. Use the SMART method, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic in time frame, in the time bound. So this is the practical way that you can. There are practical ways that you can adopt to resolve this kind of scenarios.
Thank you. You mentioned about a Napoleon Hill's book. Is it Think and Grow Rich? Is that the book?
One is Think and Grow Rich. Other is 13 Principles of Success.
13 principles.
Yeah.
Right. Great. Thank you. Yeah, I think again from just my side, it's, I guess, to manage stress, it's about habits and finding out, I guess, what is making us stressful and not trying to identify those things, and taking some of your points in terms of sort of eating healthy, managing your sleep and things like that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Ram, thank you very much for that talk. And
thank you.
And to the audience, we will be publishing this the slides on our website, and the recording will also be available as a link from our website.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to now close this.
Just 1 minute, Altaf.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everyone, for participating today. If anybody is interested to discuss their issues further with me, I have shared my contact details here. You can reach out to me. I am fond of reaching out to as many number of people as I can. So if you want me to deliver the similar subject to different audiences, please do get in touch with me, and I'll be more than happy to talk with them. Thank you very much for your participation. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.